horrific review. This was another random one I just happened to have come across. In fact, I've seen it a few times, never bothered clicking on it, and yeah, last night I decided to push the button. Let's do it, right? So, strippers versus werewolves. Should be a lot funnier than what it was, but when you have a bunch of over the hill British soap actors in a movie, you kind of expect what unfolds. Yeah. So what we've got here, premise of the story is main character is Justice, played by Adele Silva, who was in Stuff, soap operas. I tell you what, one thing about not living it, or what I left home all those years ago, was not having to watch soap operas anymore, because that was TV taking over. Pumped, it was basically one of the next Emmerdale, the Coronation Street, the Bill, the whatever. God, no offense to my family, but I can't stand that shit. It's just mind-numbingly dull, and you actually feel your brain running as you watch it. And these are sort of the actors, as all the background of these actors. One or two better known. Martin Kemp, he's a decent actor, but he's only in the movie for about 5 minutes. No, bloody Robert Englund is in this. That was a real, like, I hadn't watched anything about it. I click on these things and just go for it. But yeah, Robert Englund's in this. How they managed that, I don't know. He's only in it for about 5 minutes, like 2 scenes, and probably he was on it just to get nerds like me. If I had known about it, I'd jumped on this straight away as a Robert Englund movie. But yeah, he doesn't add to the movie. He doesn't take away from it. He's just in a separate scene of his own with the main antagonist, and he's just Robert Englund being cool as usual. There you go. Nothing else needs to be said. You get Robert Englund for 3 minutes. You're like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. So we've got this is a strip club. Justice is, I think she's in the middle of giving a private dance. Yeah, sort of. She's the only stripper actress that doesn't actually get her boobs out, which is a bit of a shame because she seems to have like a nice wee set pushed up. But hey, can't have everything. I think she's probably protect her reputation, something like that daft, Yeah. Why would you appear in a stripper movie and not get your bits out? That's kind of the whole point. What was that god awful one I tried to watch with back in the day with Demi Moore? That was the same thing. Striptease. Yeah. God, that was that was kind of tragic. But yeah, don't do a stripper movie and not actually strip. It's kind of cheesy. You'd say as a grand model shoot more than the extras cut their bits out. It was fun. But anyway, I'm digressing, just being a perfect old man. Yeah, so she's in the middle of giving a private dance, and Mickey, Martin Kemp's character, halfway through her dance, transforms into a werewolf. Now, I have slagged off werewolf makeup before. I slagged it off during Hell, and there's a few other ones that are just god awful terrible, but this takes a biscuit for bad werewolf makeup. I mean, it's funny mustache, facial hair glued, half fallen off, and no changes to physical features whatsoever. Not even like proper claws. Kind of tragic. But there you go. So Mickey turns into a werewolf. Justice stabs him in the eye with a pen, which turns out to be a silver fountain pen given to her by her dad. She kills him. And then we have the owner. It's Carrie. We have, the owner of the nightclub comes in. Hears a scream or something, comes in, sees the dead body, and then the answer react is, let's hide it up. And then she goes to the advisor. Oh, by the way, might have been in your job description, but how do you feel about cutting up a body and hiding it? He's kind of like, nah, but goes it anyway. There's a real dark comedy in this. It's not belly laughs, but there is a dark comedic undertone throughout this movie. It's actually quite good. There's a few like chuckles and stuff, and the way they deal with the situation is quite decent. It's a London gangster movie. Let's be honest. Apart from them not all going full Cockney, you've a few different accents, but generally it's a London gangster movie. You just happen to have a werewolf overtone, and that's fair enough. Actually, could live with that. Not as good as Cockneys versus Zombies. I don't know if I'm talking about that movie on here, but that's quintessential. That's like proper laugh out loud, just ridiculousness. This is more understated. I don't know whether because it blew their budget having Robert England appear, and or they're using British soap actors who are awful. You can see this wee girl, the one who plays Justice. She is stretching herself to the limit being in a movie, and she's hurting. She's hurting trying to like be a lead character, and it's so funny to watch because it's so tragic at the same time. But there you go. We get introduced to the rest of the club and the characters, and we find out obviously Mickey is a werewolf and therefore part of a werewolf pack, and his pack are trying to get in touch with him, and that's kind of things unfold and discover that yeah he's been killed. Sorry, Jeanette is the owner of the club. My apologies. We also find out quite early that Jeanette has a history with werewolves, and something happened with her last club. In fact, that's how it opens up the club blown up, called Silver Dollar or something. Dollar, as in the American dollar sort of stupid way. So they had that and blown up. That was maybe they spent all the budget in that. that was a lot of special effects. That was a proper explosion. So maybe that's what the budget went on that. But and Robert England didn't no budget to do anything else, hence the freaking shitty actors and cheesiness. But there we go. Sorry, this excuse me. Sorry, this thing still hasn't left me. That's why I'm not. I'd love to be getting a few more videos out, but I'm still kind of ropey, so I'm gonna take it easy, make use of the weekends, get rested up. But yeah, they decided they're going to get rid of the body. Meanwhile, we're introduced to the werewolf pack, and they have actually more naked women involved with them than the strip club, which is even more funny. It's just hilarious. Yeah, they're kind of brain victims, and they play with their food, and it's kind of decadent and cheesy, and I suppose really animalistic. I suppose where werewolf pack would be. Don't know. I'd love to see. I'd like to see a thinking werewolf pack. I think that would be the most dangerous thing. A proper thinking, organized, almost military style werewolf pack. I haven't seen that yet. Even in the Underworld movies, they were still kind of base and rutting about in the dirt. Even God, what do you call it? Lucian makes a comment. You're like a pack of rabid dogs. Them and they're all fighting with each other for absolutely no reason, just for sport. I get the idea of the werewolf letting out the animal and going on the run, but I really would love to see a proper, tight, organized werewolf pack with riches, and their human selves are secured in luxury, and then their animalistic side they've actually built, like a maze or something, or use grounds to let off their animalistic side, but it's controlled, it's a controlled release, and they just aren't slavering beasts. It'd just be really nice. This werewolf pack are a mixed bag of London gangsters and chavs and a Scotsman and just, like I say, it's just random people thrown together. I just look so out of place. So they all dress differently. So there's no coherent pack. It's a pack in the loosest sense. So I think that's my thing I'm looking for with a werewolf movie. It's that side of thing. We've seen the individual ones. You know, I mean, we've seen American Werewolf in London. Closest thing was American Werewolf in Paris, actually, to an organized like werewolf pack, but they're a bit of a cult. That might be the closest thing I've seen to it. You know, maybe it was cheesy. Dog Soldiers was, I think, the first time on TV we seen a proper pack operate. And that was decent, but still not what I'm looking for. I want to see werewolves that make use of take advantage of their human form, and then their werewolf sides let out for fun or in extreme situations where they have to fight off a greater enemy, if that makes sense. This is kind of a ragtag bunch of gangster types, like gang. You know, that's why I say it's like a London gang thing with a werewolf overtone. Um, Ferris is the leader and decent enough character. Keeps everybody in check, and then they discover something's up with Mickey because the bouncer dude is chopping him up, and he answers the phone like an idiot. The guy's phone in his pocket, and he's just like, ugh, and then they know something's up, and then go hunt for him. You know, like pack of sniffer dogs. Then bouncer guy pays a bunch of chavs to torch Mickey's car with Mickey inside it. Oh, and yeah, Mickey gets a stiffy during the dance that stays with him even after he's dead, and there's a whole joke about it, like protruding the idle blankets and stuff, and them having to almost whack it off. Yeah, it's a bit of a dark comedy. Strung out a bit too much because the kind of initial giggle, and then you're like, all right, okay, you know, stop being funny. But Mickey or Wolfpack encounters the Chaff Gang trying to burn the car with Mickey's body inside. That's how they twig on that it's foul play. Then they deduct that it was a stripper because of high heels. All strippers wear high heels, apparently. You tell me. Right. Then things kind of escalate. What we have here turns out Justice is in a relationship with Scott, who's one of the vampires. She hasn't told him that she's a stripper. He hasn't told her that he's a werewolf. So there's kind of secrets in their relationship, sort of thing. And it's semi-serious, and they're kind of getting that point to take the next step. But obviously, the unburdening their secrets not going to happen, or not going to work out well. But there you go. Yeah, it's a bit of a slow one. I think that's what I'm having the struggle here. With a lot of these movies I'm watching, I've noticed that they kind of drag out the runtime a bit, and they don't tighten up the script. So for the bits of action, there's a lot of exposition in between, and it kind of makes the thing, you know, longer than it should be. But yeah, this all starts to transpire. Then they go after the bouncer. Then he's actually going on a date with one of the other strippers. She discovers them, and they chase her. Then they meet, or one of the other characters, but more interesting, Raven, who's Eastern European. She's in a relationship with a vampire hunter / warlock, which is interesting. They threw this guy in for shits and giggles. It's a bit of a waste of a character, to be honest. He's a decent character, but he's underutilized. Which turned out to be a shame. But to have him, he's a, you know, he's into the cult and all that kind of stuff. But the other stripper, whose name I can't remember, goes into Raven's house, barricaded, then the werewolves are trying to come in. She rings him up, okay, how do I deal with werewolves? And he's fighting two vampires. They're also wearing less clothes. Two lady vampires who are wearing less clothes than the strippers. I just keep making that because all the strippers are like dressed a lot, wearing a lot more clothing than other characters in this movie. Other female characters, I just think it's hilarious. It's just I don't know whether it's intentional as a joke, which actually wouldn't surprise me at British humor, or it just happened to work out that way. But I just think it's funny. So he's in the middle of fighting these two scantily clad lady vampires, and then he's trying to give her tips on how to deal with the werewolves at the door. And of course, they have enough time because they put bolts and locks, but even though they kick it in, they don't come in straight away. And then she pulls out a shotgun with silver in it and shoots him in the bits. And then it just kind of, yeah, we'll get you later. This is the scene then with Ferris and Topper, and that's Robert Englund's character. So it turns out that Topper got arrested for something and locked up. And he was the alpha of the pack. And I think the original pack, which I think related to the Silver Dollar strip club, and I think that wiped out their pack. Topper got arrested. I didn't quite get the full story. It was a bit up there. But he wants revenge, and Ferris keeps offering to break him out of jail, and he's like, nah. Plus, also, what am I going to join your pack? Am I an alpha, or are you going to step aside and let me take over yours? That kind of thing, which actually makes sense. And there's always an alpha. It's like pack of wolves. There's an alpha. Everyone else falls in the line. There can't be two alphas, which is fair enough. This was like 5 minutes of Robert Englund just being Robert Englund, which was cool. I'm just thinking to myself, how the hell did you end up here? That's more of an interesting backstory because just weird. Anyway, then he basically tells the other ones to go in the charge, wipe out the strip club, and that's what they do, go in and just kill everybody. And then there ends up being about 3 or 4 characters left who then take on the werewolves, including Jeanette, who has this weird scene with Ferris because they knew each other, and there's hints that she was in a relationship with Topper, I think, or him. Kind of thing, but yeah. And then they do a silly thing where they do a count. Strippers, werewolves, ping, 1, 2, trying to throw a bit of comedy in, but I think it's so understated that the comedy doesn't land as well as should do. Because for comedy, especially this sort of thing, it has to be just over the top. And the whole thing has to be ridiculous. The problem is they're trying to interpose serious drama in between the comedy moments. So the two kind of knock against each other. It's a bit of a shame. They should have picked one or the other and went with it. No, if they want a dark, gritty drama with werewolves, they should have stuck with that theme. Or one of the daft comedy should have went that way. But they're kind of throwing the two together. It's not working. It's kind of bouncing against each other. Sorry, excuse me. Then we get, I think it's down to the last 3 strippers. Then the warlock dude rides up the motorbike and with a shotgun, and he comes in the last minute. There's a bomb. Yeah, there's another bomb in the. That's what happens is there's another bomb in the strip club. They blow each other up, and then oh yeah, the whole thing with Justice, she bit Scott and then becomes a werewolf herself. Then she quickly bites everybody else and swap blood and do weird stuff, and then they blow up the nightclub. Warlock dude comes in and puts all their bits together, but sticks all the werewolves bits in the jars so they can't grow back. Does that make sense? And then we'll get the cutscene where essentially he goes on the hunt for vampires with 3 werewolves with him, and they become like a team. And then we'll see Topper essentially escaping from prison, and it was all to set up a sequel. But I don't know, I don't know. I didn't mind it. Put it like this, I didn't mind it. It was decent enough, not the best acting, terrible werewolf effects. The other stuff had its moments, but I think they were kind of trying to shoehorn the comedy in, so it felt forced rather than natural. So it worked against the thing. It wasn't Breaking Bad type comedy. You know, it's like a dark, gritty show, but the comedy in it works, gives you those bits of levity in an otherwise dark show. To me, that's a perfection of dark comedy, even though it's not horror, but still there's horror elements in it. But that you need that kind of deadpan seriousness, and then just ridiculous situations that just take you out of take you out of it for a moment. This didn't have it. If I had made up his mind what direction I wanted, it might have been better. But it was it's a fun watch. It's just cheesy, fun movie. Don't take it too seriously. Don't expect too much, and you'll be all right. Laugh at the fact that every other lady in this gets naked except the actual strippers, which is funny. Except the fact that the werewolf makeup is awful. Geek out because Robert Englund's in a movie, because why not? See it. 5 minutes of Robert Englund. what's not the like? And laugh at over the hill British soap actors who have been well past their prime and have no other talent, scrambling for a career. So there you go. There's my review. Hope you enjoy it. If you've watched this, I stuck the link in the description. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out and let me know what you think. If you have seen it and you agree or disagree with my thoughts, let me know why in the comments. Do the tiny clicky things. And until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.